In this video, I'm going to discuss what you do once you finally secure your commission. The absolute most crucial, critical piece of information I could ever give you is to be open and communicate with your customer. The most important thing out of everything is to be transparent and have an open lines of communication. If you're talking with your customer back and forth, you can deal with basically any problem that arrives. Either payment issues or delivery problems or extensions of deadlines or even the commission not coming along as well as they thought it would. Something I do personally is post my update pictures to Instagram and Facebook. Now this is a twofold purpose here. The first one is to let the customer see the progress made on their commission. This will allow them at any point to say, ooh, I don't like that, or that's nice, or before we get to the next stage, would you mind tweaking this a little bit? Now this is awesome because it allows you to make changes as you go, little tiny tweaks here and there, as opposed to getting the entire model back and needing to fix it because it's not what they had in mind. The second reason I post my update pictures to social media is because it allows other people who might be potential customers to see the kind of work they can expect from me. Some of the most beneficial aspects of being active on social media is that you're continuously building a library, you're having constant content to let customers and fans or other followers or people that just like the stuff, they can see your name pop up more often, and it lets them know that you're active, lets them also know that you have a pretty solid schedule, and it allows your customers, as I said, to see the progress of their commission and feel like they're involved. Now that we've discussed communication, I think it's really important to talk about bookkeeping and payment software. Personally, I use QuickBooks Self-Employed. It's a cool little phone app. It allows me to track all of my expenses and profit right on the phone. And then at the end of the quarter, it prints out a little form that I can use for my taxes. Secondly, for payment options, because I don't have my own store, I use PayPal. I started out on PayPal and I'm continuing to use that. The main reason I still like PayPal is because it's one of the only places out there that allows multiple payments. A weird little caveat though. Right now, since I am still a new seller on PayPal, they have it gated to where I have to wait like 21 days before I'm able to accept my payment. Now, if you're trying to use this as your sole source of income, waiting 3 weeks to get paid is not necessarily the best idea. However, since this is my hobby or my secondary job, just a fun little side gig, I don't mind being able to wait. Now, before I close this out, there are a few things that you should probably consider. One of them is disclaimers. I belong to a Facebook commission painters group, and I've seen on there a lot about people not having things paid on time or not paid entirely or just no communications from the customer whatsoever. So I think it's important to have these things in your disclaimer. Things such as what to do if full payment isn't received by a certain amount of time, what to do if communication isn't ever returned by the customer. It's also important to have on there how you're going to handle payment for your commission. Are you going to take a deposit? Are you going to require all of your payment up front? Are you going to be someone that buys all the models and then paints them? I don't advise that. Whatever you decide, whatever works best for you and your customer, be sure to write it down. So that if at any time there's issues, you can go back to your disclaimer and say, hey, look you signed here. This is exactly what we agreed to. And that way, if there are any legal issues, you kind of watch your back on that one. That was actually suggested by someone on the comments from one of my previous videos. Thank you so much for helping me out with that. Something else I suggest is keeping accurate records of everything with your commission. This way, if there's a change made, you have it written down. And you can say, on this date, this person requested this change, and it was either A, paid for, or B, added to the cost. Now, I'm not emphasizing the importance of these things to make it to where you're so concerned about getting sued or things like that. I'm just saying it's important to have these things, even if it's just one tiny little blurb at the bottom that you can put in the bottom of every single little note section of every single invoice. That way you don't have to focus on that. You don't have to worry about that. You can just get back to painting and interacting with your customers. Now the last step is just to paint the stuff and get it sent out. Well guys, that's it. That's the series. Thank you so much for sticking by. Thank you so much for watching. And for those of you that are new subscribers, welcome. Please, if you have any questions or comments on things that I've brought up in this video or other videos, leave it in the description below. Leave it in the notes or the comments or whatever, and I'll get back to you. I'll either comment on it, or if there's enough feedback, I'll make another video. Also, for those of you that are subscribers, let me know what brought you here. Was it this commission series? Was it that you saw my other videos of painted miniatures? Was it my how-to tutorial? Or was it the show-off videos where I'm discussing the cool little miniatures and conversions I've done. Let me know what got you here, and let me know what I can do to help keep you here. I'm very curious. I want us to grow. I want this to be a community where we all discuss and chat and converse and interact with each other. And I think it's really awesome that you guys are here. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next video.